Today I'll be talking about the top 3 math games that I love using with gifted students. The first game I love to use is a game called Moby. This is a very fun game. It's packaged in a fun whale design, and you open up the game on the bottom. There's a zipper, and all the tiles are in there. This game is a lot like Bananagrams or Scrabble, but using math. Inside of the whale, you will find some blue tiles that have numbers on them and white tiles that have multiplication and division and addition and subtraction symbols, as well as the equal sign symbol. Now, the goal here is that students build equations or equivalent statements using the tiles that they're given and the pieces, the numbers that they have. There are lots of different variations. There are some variations of the game where you can set a certain timer, or the student who uses up all of their number tiles first wins. But you can play however your students like best. Or I know some students get really competitive or really upset if they don't win a game, so I am really careful with how I phrase games and competition and who wins and who loses. I try to just have it be as a fun way to practice skills and not necessarily like a winning or losing situation. So anyway, I love this game because it teaches students to be flexible with how they're using their numbers and how they're building equations. So you can multiply, divide, add, subtract. You can use all these different ways to find how to make these facts. So Moby, love that game. It's a great one. The next game we'll be talking about is a game called Match Madness. Now this game really builds students' spatial awareness. I love using this game. It also builds their logic skills. Each student will receive 5 blocks. Each block has different shapes and colors on it, as you can see there. Now, do note that in each box, there's enough for 4 players to play. But stay tuned. I will share how you can play this game either with a whole class or with more than just one student per set of blocks. So in this game, you'll get a card. This is the green level. It's the easiest level. It's noted by that green border around it. And students will move their blocks around to try to build the pattern that they have on their card. Again, with this game, there are different variations that you can play. I try not to make it seem like there is a winner or a loser. We're just practicing our skills. We're all learning, right? And so the challenge with this game is that you don't really know which blocks you're supposed to use to make which part of the pattern, because you could build that top part using um, 2 blocks that go horizontally, or it could be 1 block that goes horizontally and then 2 blocks that go vertically. So that's part of the challenge of figuring out which way the blocks need to go. So in this instance, the 2 double greens in the middle on that top row, they are made by 2 different blocks. They're not on that same block. And sometimes that is really tough for students to understand and to develop that flexibility with figuring some of these puzzles out. I love also using this as a center. Students can play this when they're done with their work early. This is a great early finisher game. It's quiet. They can do it on their own. It's self-paced. Another way that you can play this game, if you want to build language skills, if you have English language learners or young students, maybe that are really shy, a fun way to use this game is to have one student hold the card and try to tell their partner, who's only allowed to touch the blocks, how to build their pattern. Very challenging, but also very fun. Very, very great game to build verbal skills. So that would be the completed version for that puzzle. And then there are other difficulty levels. There's level 2, level 3, and level 4. And there's a bunch of different patterns and challenges that you can do with this game. Now, this game is great for older students. I would say like 3rd grade and up. If you are looking for a game for younger students, this is the version that I would recommend. This is great for kindergarten through about 2nd grade. This is the junior version, and I'll show you how this one's a little bit different. It's a little bit easier. There are only 4 blocks, so each student would get 4 blocks, and they would try to build this pattern that they're given on the card. Another way that this is easier is if you notice on the card, on this green level, level 1, this card gives you a hint. It shows you which numbered block to start with and then what shapes are made with that one. So that's a really great way to introduce this game if you have young learners. It really scaffolds it and helps them figure it out. Now, on the next level, it does still scaffold it. It does show which block to start with, but it doesn't give the number of the block that you should start with. So it shows you what direction it goes in, the orientation. And then for the next level, there's no hints. Also, level 4, there's no hints. So it really builds that ability for students. So I love those games. Really helps build spatial awareness for students. The next game that I love to use is called Add Sumudi. This game is great to use as a whole group warm-up. This is one of my favorite ways to begin the class for a small group because it really gets students thinking flexibly about numbers. Students use the numbers on the outside of the hexagon to try to make the number that is in the middle. The difficulty level is notated on the top of the card by the number of stars that there are on the card. This game uses multiplication and division. This version of Add Sumudi Fun Ones, students can solve using just addition and subtraction. I like that version a lot because students as young as kindergarten, first grade can play this game and start thinking really flexibly about numbers. So here students can add 6 and 4 to make 10, or here they could subtract 3 minus 1 to make 2. This would be one of the easier ones to start with. Adsumudi does make different versions of this game. If you teach middle school or even high school, there are more challenging versions of the game, so check out the links in the description box. I will put those there. So that is Adsumudi Fun Ones and then kind of the original one. Those are the two that I have on hand today with me. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me for this video. If you use any of these games in your classroom, please let me know in the comments, or if there's any other game that you like to use, let me know. I'd love to check out new games. Also, make sure to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Have a great day.